Hi there, this is Mark McRae from markmccrae.com, and I had a conversation about an hour ago about stress in business, and it reminded me of another conversation I had with a copywriter. Now, for those of you who don't know what a copywriter is, it's someone, they call it salesmanship in print, but if anything that you read probably on a website, in the media, on a blog, has been written by a copywriter. And very often an owner will hire more than one copywriter when he wants to test something. So let's say he has a sales page. He may hire two different copywriters so that he can have two different versions and he can test each version to see which one gives him the most sales. They call it going head to head, and it can be very stressful for copywriters particularly if it's done on a daily basis. And our team do things on a daily basis, and there's emotion involved, particularly if somebody is competitive. The fact that they might not win the split test is stressful for a copywriter, and copywriters tend to lean towards the artistic side anyway. And he asked me how I dealt with the stress, and I said I don't find it stressful at all, because when I was writing copy, I gave 100%. So I did my very best. I was present. I was involved and engaged every day that I wrote copy. And if it never won the test, I didn't care. I couldn't have done better on that particular day. So there was no stress. Now, it's the same thing for athletes. If you are a high performance athlete, there's stress. You don't just go and play tennis at Wimbledon without stress, or the finals of any game without stress. It's a stressful situation, and how you deal with stress can sometimes be the determining factor in how successful you are. Now, it's very much the same with business. I know lots of business people who are totally stressed out, and I think one of the reasons they get so stressed out is they're unprepared. And when they're unprepared, there's a lack of time, and a lack of time always causes stress if you haven't planned correctly. But if you're running your business to the best of your ability, you're doing what you should be doing, and you know that you've prepared and you're ready for, you're doing your best to make sure everything works correctly, there's no need to be stressed. And I always think of, the President of the United States, right? Regardless of who's in power, can you imagine the sort of stress that would be involved in that position? You have to make hundreds of decisions per day, and unless you can segment, put things in a box and move on to the next thing, the stress would probably kill you. And there's an old Scottish saying that says, if you worry, you die. And if you don't worry, you die as well. So if you need help building revenue or need help getting clients, you can reach me at markmccrae.com.